Well, good morning. Welcome to Daily Focus. I'm glad that you're joining me again. And it is a privilege to always share God's word. And I just want to thank you to the myriad of folks that join me from really all over the nation. And I'm humbled by that, but I'm also very thankful for it. God's word is life and it is light. It gives us direction. It tells us where we are. It tells us what to do next. And it is a wonderful thing to be able to share God's word. Well, I've entitled this one a serious miscalculation. This Amalekite comes and out of the blue approaches David, bows himself to David, and basically tells him a story that's not true. How David knew this wasn't true, I'm not really sure. Or he just said, listen, if you took it upon yourself to kill Saul, then you're not worthy to live. I'm not really sure which way it went. There's enough evidence in the text to go either way. But I think it all is settled in verse number 14. So as this young man comes and says, you know what, Saul was wounded, he begged me to take his life, and so knowing that he was going to die anyway, I went ahead and thrust him through with a sword and killed him. I brought his crown and his bracelet to you, David. I knew you would want it. And and David rent his clothes, and he required that people would show mourning and weeping for Saul and Jonathan, even till the end of the day. In verse number 13, and David said unto the young man that told him, whence art thou? And he answered, I am the son of a stranger, an Amalekite. And David said unto him, how was thou not afraid to stretch forth thine hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? Boy, I'll tell you, David had learned through his life to trust the Lord to take care of the enemies. So many times in our culture today, we have a cancel culture. We have a let's take matters into our own hands. Let's build an army of supporters and put pressure to destroy the person who stands in our way. James chapter 4 says, you want to know if we're struggling with pride? Here's how you know, is if you see people as a pawn to be used for your agenda, or if you see people as a problem that need to be removed out of your way. If that's how you see people, you have a pride problem. And James chapter 4 says, God resists the proud, but he gives grace unto the humble. The humble are those who trust the Lord to take care of situations. And they're willing to let God decide how things will play out. David was such a humble person in that regard that he did not take matters into his own hands. He allowed God to handle the situation, and he trusted the Lord as to how things would play out. And we know he struggled. We've talked about that. But David was very clear to this Amalekite. How were you not afraid to go after the Lord's anointed, to kill him, to destroy him? Verse 15, and David called one of his young men and said, go near and fall upon him, which simply means to kill him. And he smote him and he died. Uh, David was going to be very clear before his men that whether there was a wound, whether he was being begged, whatever the case may be, people do not have the right to take matters into their own hands. That's a secular humanistic teaching that somehow we just take matters into our own hands. We handle them the way we see they need to be handled, and we pursue after the agenda that we want. And God says, "Oh, I'll resist the proud." And this young man, whether he was trying to find favor with David, whether he was trying to find a position in the court, whether he thought somehow he'd be hailed as a hero, he made a serious miscalculation. And can I just warn all of us, when we get proud, when we start seeing things blinded by our own agenda, we will make some serious miscalculations. It's better to just humble ourselves in the sight of the Lord and let Him lift us up. God bless you. I hope you have a great day today. I'm going to miss tomorrow. I'm taking my son away to Americana Dunes for his birthday to play a round of golf. I'll pray that we don't freeze to death, but we'll have a good time together anyway. But I'll see you again on Monday. God bless you.